Hi, my name is Courtney Holman, and welcome to my presentation for EDU 709, Creating the Project Online Presentation. In the beginning, there was research. Well, being that I am not a classroom teacher, I honestly had no idea where to start. During our searching phase, I came across a lot of interesting, innovative technology, and a lot of you mentioned them in some of your projects, like inspiration mapping, or I think someone did mention Glockster. But there's so many things out there, but the one thing that I was most impressed with is something called VoiceThread. However, once I discovered it, I still didn't know what to do with it in terms of a lesson plan. Okay, my rationale. So, at first I was asking all of my teacher friends, what can I do as a lesson plan, for VoiceThread? I was thinking, okay, I'll create lesson plans for them. But then I was thinking I would like to create something that I can actually use for myself, not just for the sake of the class. So, I actually forgot about the fact that I was teaching an adult class at my church, and I realized that I could use VoiceThread for the class that I would be teaching. So my lesson plans are teaching chapter 1 and chapter 2 of the book Hand Me Another Brick by Charles R. Swindoll. And this book is about character building and leadership. So I chose this book naturally because I actually have to teach this book for an adult class at church. And since I just discovered that in this awesome technology called VoiceThread in the last module, I thought I would use it to teach from the book. This is actually going to be my main technology for this project. Okay, so the process for lesson 1. Students will answer questions about prior knowledge of leadership via SurveyMonkey before the course begins. So what I would do, because the students have to register for the class, I would then send out an email asking that just building a survey or compiling information of what the class participants feel about leadership, what they know, what is their definition of leadership, things of that nature. And also the students are required to have read chapter 1 before the first class session. And then students will access the VoiceThread from the link that is sent out by the teacher, which is me. Students must review the tutorial link sent out by me. And the link actually shows them how to use it, navigate it, and also create a VoiceThread, because they'll have to do each one of those things for this class. The students will watch the VoiceThread, and they're required to comment on the designated slides. The VoiceThread that I created for lecture-wise, for the introduction of the class. For example, one slide asks the class to build a definition of a leader, and each student must list a characteristic that an ideal leader must have. And the students will then create their own VoiceThread in response to the end of chapter 1, detailing how they can incorporate the 3 phases that is discussed in chapter 1 in their personal life. So that's, how they can incorporate their knowledge that we've gone over in the class. Okay, so next is lesson 2. And lesson 2 is more collaborative. After listening to the lecture that I will give via VoiceThread on the 4 marks of the competent leader, the class will break up into 4 groups and come up with examples for each mark. For example, group 1 will have the first mark and will be responsible for compiling responses and presenting to the class on the designated slide of the VoiceThread, and so on. Each group will upload their responses to the VoiceThread so that everyone can review. Now, what I did, because these lessons flowed together because it was chapter 1 and chapter 2, so this PowerPoint just shows how that flows. It's not 2 different lesson plans. They kind of just flow to. They are different, but they flow together, if that makes sense. Okay, so the advantages and disadvantages are pretty much the same for both lessons, because it's dealing with the format. So the project advantages are that we don't have to be in one location to receive the knowledge. As the instructor, I can create the content and discussion ahead of time and send it out to the class. And they can respond to my lecture and answer questions as well as interact with each other, all from the comfort of their own home. And also, as the instructor, I can monitor student responses as well because of the way that you can comment on the voice thread. Project disadvantages. Well, one disadvantage is that it's internet based, which could be a problem if someone loses internet connection or doesn't have access to the internet at all. Another possible disadvantage would be if the site was unavailable for the students to access. Unforeseen things happen whenever technology is involved. And lastly, this format of teaching doesn't have as much personal interaction as it would if the class were held in a classroom at the church. So it may be lacking some of that intimate feel that you get in the classroom setting. However, I still think it's worth a try. So I actually got special permission to use this technology and try this out with the class. And what I'm going to do at the end of the class, once we finish the entire book, I'm going to get the feedback of the students and see how they felt about the format and using VoiceThread as the forum for learning and discussing and collaborating. And of course, the innovative technology of choice is VoiceThread. And this is an innovation that can be used in business, K through 12, and higher ed learning environments, which is great. You can use VoiceThread for any content as well. It's really up to the creator's discretion how much you want to use this and build this into your lesson plans rather. Okay, so now I'm actually going to go to the tutorial link that I actually will be sending out to the students. So we're going to go through that so you can get the opportunity to um, see it for yourself. Okay. You see how simple and that is to explain. Um, I think it's very straightforward. It tells you exactly what it is that you need to do. Let's go to the next slide. You see? Okay, I'm going to pause it. So, what you were just listening to, this is an example that VoiceThread actually gave. So, this is a family picture, and you could see over here that the mother was actually commenting on the actual page. So that is one way that you can comment. So that's why I think this is actually such a cool tool, because like it said before, you can actually type, you can type, you can record yourself, which is what she did. You can use the webcam and make a comment so that people can see you and in your response. So it's like being there, but you're not there. Or you can call in. I mean, I think that is just so cool. You have so many options on how to make this personable. So I'm gonna leave it here, because if you really want to see the rest of the tutorials and learn the tricks, you can go to voicethread.com yourself, and you can click on the tutorial links. It also shows you how to connect your mics for the different computers like Mac and Windows. Like, it really lays everything out. It's easy to explain. So I guess with that being said, I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint. And so we just finished the tutorial, and really that is actually it. I want to thank you for watching, and I want to thank the professor for doing such a wonderful job with teaching this class and encouraging us to explore the different innovative technologies out there. I know that I've personally learned a lot, and I'm just excited to go forward and use the things that I've learned. And good luck to all of you in the rest of your classes. Have a great break.